Hi everyone. So this is a short video of a really useful coaching tool which we use when clients are feeling a little lost, they need help in exploring their identity, they want support in making a decision, or to help with their confidence and decision making. You'll need a pen and paper for this exercise, preferably a laptop screen or the ability to zoom or screen capture on your phone, and you'll need about 30 minutes. I'll let you know when to pause the video for the exercise as it will just keep running. And you can then press play when you're ready and in your own time. But what are values? So your values are the things that you believe are important in the way that you live and work. We begin to have values in childhood, and these are influenced by family and those around us initially, but they expand as we experience and go through life. So values can and do change, and you might find that you have completely different values to your family, even though you all grew up together. You may also find that since having kids, your values have changed as well. So, values should determine your priorities. Values should direct how you behave, react, and the choices that you make. They're also a measure for you to use to tell you if your life is turning out the way that you want it to. So, when the things that you do and the way that you behave match your values, life is usually good. You're satisfied and content. You're living into your values and beliefs. But when your actions and what you do doesn't align with your personal values, that's when things feel wrong. This can be a real source of unhappiness. And you may feel lost, like you don't know who you are, where you fit in, and you may lose confidence. And this can happen if we're in a situation or have people around us that don't share our values. Think of work environments or the work or organization itself. Toxic friendships, communities where you feel you don't belong. These are all examples of where we are not living into our values and something is off. This is why making a conscious effort to identify your values is so important. It reminds us of who we are and what we need to thrive and make us unique. So, 3 useful questions to ask when you're thinking about your values are: what are the things that define me? Are these the things I am when I'm at my best? And do I use these when I make hard life decisions? Now you know why values are important to us. Let's have a look at identifying or reminding you of yours. I'll shortly show you a list of values, and just a warning, it is a long list. But as you read through the list, simply write down or choose the words that feel like a core value to you personally. If it resonates, write it down. Don't overthink the words, just go with what really feels like a core value to you. If you think of a value you possess that's not on the list, add it to the list. There's no limit of how many you choose, but look at it through the lens of if this really is the foundation of who you are. So look at the list, choose every core value that resonates with you. Don't overthink it. Write down the words that feel like a core value to you personally. So pause this video now and have a look at this list. Remember, write down all the ones that resonate and that you feel are a core value to you. Don't overthink or spend too long on it, and then press play again when you're ready. Welcome back. So you'll probably have a list. It may be short or it might be long. There's no right or wrong way of doing this exercise, so please don't panic. And you may have noticed that a lot of the values that you've written down are very similar to each other, and that's okay. What you need to do now is create sets or sublists. So what you need to do is group all the similar values together from the list that you've created. Group them in a way that makes sense to you personally. Create a maximum of 5 groups. Now, if you've got more than 5 categories, drop the least important ones. Okay, pause the video now whilst you do this, and then press play when you're ready. Okay, so hopefully now you've written some lists. Don't worry if you only have a couple or if you have 5, but what we need to do now is identify your values. So choose one word within each set or list that represents the label for the entire group and circle it or highlight it. Again, Don't overthink your labels. There is no right or wrong answers. You are defining the answer that's right for you. So go ahead and pause the video whilst you do this. Next, create an action. Add a verb, so turn it into an action word for each value so you can see what it looks like as an actionable core value. For example, leading, dedicating, or respecting. Go a little further and maybe put them in a goal you have or want to set yourself. So, for example, I will run 10K by dedicating myself to training. Pop it in a sentence about yourself. For example, I show my daughter the importance of persevering. Or even put it into a plan that you want to make. For example, I will continue to practice my value of gratitude by keeping a journal day every day. Take a few minutes and give this a go. Now, have a look at your values and put them in priority order. Think about experiences that you've had, decisions that you've made. When have you been at your happiest? And the things that you want to be known for doing, being, and living by. If you still have 5 at this point, try and see which you consider your top 3. If you have less than 3, that's okay, but maybe look at your list again and really think about what you could add. Pause the video here until you've prioritized your core values, and then press play. So how did you get on? Were there any surprises? Did it reaffirm your beliefs of your values, or did you find others that you weren't aware of? It's really important to remember that these are the things that we live by and not the things we want people to see us as. If we're pretending to have a value, but it's not at our core, then we won't be able to pinpoint why we feel lost, why we feel unsure of ourselves, or why we're unhappy. If your workplace, relationships, or things that you do aren't matching or fitting to your values, then you need to look at making changes to your environment. If you sacrifice your values, this will only make you more unhappy and a slippery slope of poor mental health and possibly depression. When we live true to our values and ourselves, we're happy, we thrive, and we become the very best versions of ourselves. So there you have it. That's the values exercise, which you have hopefully found interesting or helpful. And I would love for you to share what your values are and post any comments. Thanks for watching, and I'm sure I'll see you again really soon.